Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome to today's episode. We're back at it with the C5. Today we're going to dig in a little bit and we're going to actually assess some of the damage. We're going to try and focus on fixing this front end damage, mostly where the lower radiator support is. We've noticed a lot of that is pretty bent, so we're actually going to be pulling off the front bumper today. Probably going to be taking the hood off as well. That way we can look at what we need to do. I might try to get a new lower radiator support, or if it's easy enough, I might just weld in some new pieces to the existing one here just to straighten everything out for the time being. So we're going to go ahead and get the front bumper off, and then after that we're going to try and assess what we need to do, and we'll give you guys an update once we get them off. There we go.
Alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Alright, well, so it looks like the radiator support has been, well, it's seen better days. So what we need to do here is we're trying to remove these 7mm bolts and get the bumper off so that we can get better access to all this stuff and try and fix this piece of
Yeah, he's 100% correct. The lower radiator support is actually a little worse than I thought it was. It's not that big of a deal. I already found where to find some. So we're definitely going to be replacing that now. I'm going to step over you. Here's where so this is where we started with the front bumper. We took out all of these bolts. There's actually 2 here and here. The rest of them are the plastic fasteners. One of mine was really stuck. I ended up having to drill it out. Then you come over here to the side of the wheel wells. A couple bolts in here on each side. However, due to the wreck, mine aren't actually attached. So we're getting this plastic guard here, kind of like Zach was just showing. And here is the underside of the car. That's where all the damage is at. So here's the worst of it. That's the subframe bent pretty bad. So we're gonna try and get that out today, unbolt that. You can see how the lower part where the radiator sits got pushed, and that's why the radiator's not lined up right now. That's not too big of a deal because I already found where to get a new one of these. So we're just gonna order a whole new assembly for this and just replace that. So that's pretty much it. Big boy. All right, Zach, tell me what we just got done.
Alright, so we got the bumper obviously off. All the plastic bits, horn, whatever this is supposed to be. It looks like the subframe or cross member, whatever this is.
Lower core support, yeah.
Yeah, the lower core support here has been bent, obviously pretty bad from whatever it hit. But there's one bolt holding it in, and I think we're going to be able to just bend it out by hand because it's actually pretty flimsy right now. Probably because it's been structurally compromised here. So
yeah,
it should be pretty easy to do. If not, like you said, we should be able to just use ratchet straps and get it on.
Yep. So. Nice thing is, it looks like the damage is actually all just pretty much down to that lower core support. Really, once we get that replaced, that's the biggest part of the damage. Biggest thing we did find is right here. It kind of pulled the riv nut that goes to that core support out, so I'll have to put a new one in there, figure out what thread pitch and everything that is. And then the way this is bent, it's almost impossible to get to that bolt, but like we were saying, I think we can bend this back out. Alrighty Alrighty guys, so we just got the actual front core support out. I'll show you that real quick. It's bent. Pretty bad. But we were actually able to get that one side out by just doing all the other ones like we had talked about and then pulling on it, and then we were able to access that bolt, so it wasn't too hard to pull out. Now that we got that done, we're going to go ahead and actually take off the hood, and that way it'll give us a little bit more access and get the radiator straightened out a little bit more. There's some brackets over here that I see that are broken. And also, I just got myself a new intake that we're going to be throwing on as well. So we're going to want some room to throw that new intake in there as well. We'll be showing you guys that as soon as we get that intake in. But for now, we're going to go ahead and pull the hood off. That way we just have a little bit more room. It's a little hard to kind of work in this radiator area with this hood design. So I think it's going to be best to pull off the hood. One thing to mention though, if you guys are going to pull your hood off your Corvette, do mark your bolts where the hood lines up at. That way whenever you go to put the hood back on, you aren't going to have as much of a hard time realigning it, and you'll be a little bit closer. That way you don't have to worry about all the panel gaps and everything as well. So we're going to go ahead and get that pulled off. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, we just got done pulling the hood off. I also went ahead and took the whole intake assembly off as well. Like I mentioned, we're getting a new intake later this week, so as soon as that comes in, we'll be showing you that. But absolutely pulling the hood and the front bumper off gave us all the room that we needed to assess the damage, which, like I said, mostly really seems to be that lower core support. However, unfortunately, after removing the lower core support, my radiator has actually started leaking a little bit from the bottom corner. I've got a little bucket there to catch it. From looking at it, it looks like there might be a crack somewhere on one of the end caps, which doesn't surprise me considering the type of hit that it took. But kind of a blessing in disguise, since we are going to be actually racing and drifting this thing. Probably not a bad idea to go ahead and upgrade our radiator anyways, that way it stays a little bit more cool. So I'm going to end up looking at a new radiator. I think we got a couple parts we need to order. So we're going to get a new radiator in, we're going to try to get a new lower core support in. As soon as we get those in, we'll definitely be installing those. I think the next big thing I'm going to do is start cleaning up the engine bay. So next episode, we're definitely going to start cleaning the engine bay. That way we can see where all these leaks are coming from. I do see most of them seem to be just valve cover leaks that have just never been addressed. So I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. But I think it's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to smash that like button a little extra hard. Really helps the YouTube algorithm and helps our channel get seen a little bit more. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, we're still looking for names. If you guys have any recommendations for names, definitely let us know. As soon as we see the one that we want to see, we'll make sure to call it out. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching.